Thanks for coming back to Talk with TQ. I'm always so happy when people watch my show and then they tell me about it sometimes, either via email or I see someone walking down the street. And I really do appreciate you coming to the show to learn about the great guests that I have and the great artists and people that pass by. But today, instead of being in the Screaming Woman studio, we're in the Winzig Art Studio. And I really love it in here. There are lots and lots of beautiful pictures by the one and only Maureen Winzig. I always call her the mistress of water. She has a lot of paintings with water in them, but her paintings, whether they be portraits or waterscapes or landscapes, they just flow. And she just flows. And here she is. Hello, how are you? Thanks for coming by.
Thanks for having me.
I'm the one who came by. Thanks for having us in your studio.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah, so, you've been an artist for a long time. I've heard you talk about it before. We've discussed it. You were on my radio show a couple of years ago, and you talked about how you were an artist from the moment you defaced your parents' walls. Yes. And I see that you're not defacing anymore, but I'm really awestruck sitting in your space.
Thank you.
Especially for this particular event, which is my pleasure to have you on the show, to talk about your work. I see that you're extremely diverse.
Yes, I am.
Very diverse. And a lot of things about you people don't know. We've talked about some of them, but I'm definitely going to follow your lead and talk about, I think, first the exhibit that's coming up that you'll be part of. That's called, it's a women's exhibit. It's called, I got it. It's called Brains, Boobs, and Backbone.
That's right.
I got it right. The 3 Bs.
Yeah.
Yes. Tell us about this exhibit that you're going to be in it, because it sounds exciting and meaningful and almost fun.
Oh, it's definitely fun. This Brains, Boobs, and Backbones is definitely an eye catcher, an ear catcher, the title by itself.
Yeah.
And it's totally put together by Carla Ray Johnson, who is someone who I greatly admire, an artist and teacher and activist in this community. This was an invitational, which was a big surprise to me to get the invite. I didn't realize she knew my work that well. So, she wants us to talk about women's issues, and a lot of our rights are being jeopardized and messed with again. Here we are, 2014.
Yes.
And the suffragettes have to come back out. So she wanted it to be important, the art to reflect women's issues, but to be light and happy. And well, how do you do that? All these issues really stink right now.
Yeah.
But I do have a piece. I was considering making something new, but I have a piece where there's a woman rising from lots of pain and suffering, and she's rising through a flower. And I'm thrilled to be in that show. There's a lot of really competent, fabulous female artists in this show.
What's the name of the piece?
It's called Fertile Soil.
Okay.
Yeah.
It seems apropos.
Yeah, because when the pain and suffering rains down on you and it seems like there's this dark cloud that will never move, you can either hunch below it and live your life in quiet desperation, fall down and drown, or you can use that to create fertile soil to grow from. So in my painting, she chooses to grow, and there's this big flower growing through the dark clouds, and she bursts into infinite light.
Oh, wow. That sounds fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind bursting into infinite light.
Yeah.
Yeah. So capturing light seems to be a very important thing for any artist, and I see that you do it very well as I look around the room.
Thank you.
Now, what is your process when you work on something like a waterscape? Because you have a lot of those, and I'm always very impressed with your growth, because I've seen you go through stages. I'm very impressed with how you've gotten into what's moving close to photorealism with your waterscapes. Tell us about that, and what draws you to this?
Well, I'm a Cancer, which is a water moon sign.
Yes, it is.
And I actually learned to swim when I was just 2 years old. I would put my hands, I'd see people at the beach. We always went to Rhode Island or Cape Cod, being born in Connecticut. My mom would take us there. And I would see them with their arms going like this in the water, in the ocean, or in the lakes. And so if I was in this deep of water, I could put my hands on the sand and push myself while making this other motion everyone else was doing.
Oh, okay.
And after a while, I learned to swim by myself.
Taught yourself to swim.
Pretty crazy.
That's good.
And now I'm a scuba diver, you know, advanced open water, and I feel more comfortable and natural in the ocean.
Do you find that when you scuba dive, it inspires your work? I mean, you're underwater. I know that you've taken several interesting trips.
Yeah, quite a few.
Yeah.
15 years of diving takes you around. It's all blending into one big scuba trip. I mean, it's sunny and it's wet, you know.
Yeah, there you go.
But it does inspire me because now when I look at, I'm a poet too, you know. And when I look at the surface of the water, which is what I paint, I understand now that it's just the skin.
Yeah.
It's just the bare surface.
Right.
And there's a whole universe beneath it. So that does kind of enlighten and inform my paintings in a different way now.
Yeah.
But as far as the process, I only paint what really, really moves me.
Of course.
And I usually have visited in a way like I've lived that scene. I've stood there, I've captured it with the photograph, but I've felt it.
So you really get into these water scenes, and I just picture you sitting by the water with a canvas and painting, you know.
No.
No, how does it work? Okay.
Well, I'll tell you something.
Okay.
I really like to get out of my comfort zone.
Okay.
You know, I don't like to stay in there, which is one main reason why I'm in a lot of different types of art, you know.
Yes.
Because I get restless. I don't want to get too comfortable. But plein air painting stinks. That's what I can say on TV, right?
Yeah, you can say that.
And because I get all my gear, I have to pack it all up.
It's a schlep.
The lighting changes. There's a bug in my oils. It starts to rain. Oh my God, I forgot the white, you know.
Right. Yeah.
And but I do it anyway. I do it anyway. There was a Shadowmuck had a paint out, and I was there.
A paint out.
Yeah, you know, plein air paint out, and then they have an auction immediately after. So I do that just for my chops, you know.
Yeah, you gotta do that.
But what I do is I live the scene. You know, I'm at most of these paintings. I've been there, and it's blazoned into my, like a copper plate, into my brain.
Yeah.
And to the point where I can paint them, you know, just so naturally.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I did this one small partial portrait of this woman with her hair blowing in the breeze. And I just did the water scene out of my memory, out of my mind.
Nice.
Which totally thrilled me, but then I realized it's time for me to move on to do something else. So now I'm doing watercolor now, TQ.
Okay. Wow, that's different for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in a show at Gallery 66, which is 66 Main Street in Cold Spring.
Okay.
I'm in that gallery. It's a show with probably 6 or 8 people in it, and I'm not a featured this month, but I'm in the middle gallery. So my gallery director, Barbara Galazzo, is fabulous.
Yeah.
She's got this mind. She just knows how to pick. She comes to one of my private solo shows somewhere else where I had this menagerie of oils, pastels. I didn't have enough time to paint to this show. So I pulled out what I could do quickly, and I did watercolor after 30 years of not doing watercolor.
Yeah.
So she tells me, Maureen, this is fabulous. When your gallery director buys a piece for herself,
Yeah.
she really means it.
Yeah, that's a definite feather in your cap.
She says, you know, it gave me confidence. She says, you've got to do some more watercolor abstracts for the gallery. And first of all, am I an abstract painter? No. You know, is watercolor my thing? No. But I'm taking it on. I'm taking direction, which is a new exercise. And I'm trying this. I don't feel... I said, look, I'm not a watercolorist. She says, yes, you are. You know, she's pointing to all of my paintings. So I'm doing that. I have a bunch of pieces that I'm working on right now.
Okay.
I think the theme in the Gallery B is layers and layers.
Okay.
So there's a potential for these beautiful paintings to become layers of crap, because watercolor is not that forgiving.
It isn't. It's like a card laid is a card played.
Yeah.
That's watercolor.
So, but
As I know it.
I'm up to the challenge. I really want to do that.
Yeah, I think you can do it. I know you can. And where is this show? When is this show?
It's the first Friday of November.
Okay.
And it's at Gallery 66 in Cold Spring.
Okay. We'll try to make that one for sure.
Yeah.
And you're also in another show. You had mentioned another show to me.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's going to be the Peekskill Arts Alliance Holiday Boutique.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that's going to be at the Chamber of Commerce. That's going to be a great day because it's December 6th is the tree lighting ceremony in Peekskill. Mm-hmm. So we're going to have Santa Claus. We're going to have the tree.
The carolers.
The trolley taking people on rides.
Nice.
Carolers. There's going to also be crafts and things in a big heated tent on South Division Street. And so you have the tree lighting on Park, the crafts on South Division,
right,
and the sirens going by, and the Chamber of Commerce, which is where we're having it, is on the corner of those two blocks. So we're going to have hanging art, 2D art, as well as tables of beautiful high-end craft as well. So I'll be in that. I have my jewelry and my ornaments. I can't seem to throw away a light bulb.
Your ornaments. I remember when you first started doing this.
Yeah.
Right, when you were over at Studio 44.
Right.
And I was like, wow, so you're very environmental in that you'll always accept a dead light bulb.
That's my green project.
And bring it back to life.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
My line on that is, you used to turn them on, now they turn you on.
There you go. Hey.
So.
No, they are. They really are quite something.
Thank you.
And I see that you, generally speaking, you hang them all year round.
I do. People come in and buy them as light catchers, just for the window.
And they're excellent for that.
Thank you. Yeah.
So you do that. It's kind of like your way of always doing the right thing.
Well,
another way that you do the right thing.
They're so pretty. They're kind of sexy. I love light bulbs.
Yes. Well, your art is kind of sexy in general. When you look around, there's a lot of action happening in here.
Yeah.
There are a lot of relationships on canvas.
Yeah. There's a certain human essence that.
Yeah.
That needs to be expressed. I mean, I have these 4 squares, with BB and Billy and Miles and Johnny. And each one of them has this most incredible emotional feeling. And my main purpose of painting those portraits were to capture that, I mean, Miles, damn, and Billy's just so off into another world. She doesn't want to be here. And, I love that. The fact that I am able to capture that, I don't know, man. I just thank God for that.
Well, it's a gift, and you exercise it, which is what artists do.
Yeah.
I think it's a beautiful thing. So, it sounds like things are going really well for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, things are going well. I have one more show that I know of.
In Chelsea?
Yeah, in Chelsea, at the Cirrus Gallery.
Okay.
Which is awesome. It's called Exposure 2014.
Okay.
And they afford a place for, for artists to come and take a space. So I have like a 15-foot wall by 20-foot high that I could do whatever I want with.
Okay, that's pretty big.
So I'm going to be bringing my the things that I think need a more open-minded audience. Yeah. So I'm going to bring this one, which is a surreal piece. At first glance, it looks like a mountainscape, but it's really a shoulder, a neck, a head, and the waterfall coming from behind her ear. This woman, again, the water I just did from my memory. Half of that painted itself, I'll have you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll be down there, and I can't wait for that. That's the week of Christmas.
Yeah. That's a great week to be in Manhattan.
Yeah.
Is there going to be an opening reception, or are you just...
It is. It's going to be on the 27th.
Okay.
Which is after Christmas.
But still the season, Kwanzaa?
Yeah. What the heck?
What the heck? So
Yeah.
it's all good.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Congratulations on that one.
Thank you.
I think that you'll probably get a lot of action with that audience.
I think so.
You know, Chelsea's really up. I mean, Chelsea is there. So I won't even say up and coming, but I think
Chelsea's it.
Yeah, I in a way it kind of rivals Soho for art at this point. You know, fabulous place to show your work.
I think so. Thank you.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Indeed. And I think that it's wonderful to sometimes break out of the peak scale mode.
Yeah. It was fun going to Dobbs Ferry. You know, I like to get all around. I like to spread it around.
So you're in the Beaux-Arts as well. Beaux-Arts?
Yeah.
Yes.
That was fun.
That was fun. And that's an interesting venue and an interesting process because it's a juried exhibition, as I know it.
Yeah.
You know, and did you get to meet any other artists? And how did you feel as a peak scale artist? Because we're real artists here, going to that particular exhibition because there are all kinds of people in that exhibit.
Well, it was
that
fun.
Annual exhibit.
It was fun because, you know, there's a different, distinct feeling in Westchester's made up of so many different types of communities.
Yes.
You know, Yonkers is a huge up and coming art community.
Very much so.
And you know, peak scale, we've got our amazing cool thing going on.
Yeah.
Dobbs Ferry. You know, I just figured, you know, what the heck? You know,
Yeah.
it was a completely different thing that I'm not in, you know, I'm in more funky kind of places.
Yeah.
So why not try that? And it was great. It was a great crowd. It was a huge reception. It was fantastic.
Yeah, they're nice women that
very,
run that one.
very. It's a well-established tradition, a place that they've been at for like 100 years.
Yeah.
So it was an honor to be there.
Yeah, and I'm sure they were honored to have you there as well.
Yeah, it was great. I was among some fabulous artists.
So what are your future plans for your work?
Oh, well, I've got this. I tell you what, you know, it's great to go to the Met and MoMA and all these places and see art and all around. You know, there's so much going on in Peekskill.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, something stops you in your tracks.
Yes.
You know, an exhibit. I was in Cape May on vacation.
New Jersey.
Yeah. And I went to this show. I completely did not expect it at all. It was like an indoor shopping mall. And there's this show. And I was with Mike, and he points out to me, come here, you got to see this. I'm looking around, and I was past the fourth one when I realized that these were not photographs. These are paintings.
Yeah.
And one just became more exciting than the next. The artist's name is Victor Grosso. And I realized what I need. I realized what my next move has to be. Because he had this model, I think it's the same woman, or maybe two, these fantastic young women. And it's not that they're like Barbie dolls. They've got real character. They've got this look. And whatever look that I'm sure he guided them for his vision, they were able to express softness, excitement, joy. And I'm like, damn, this is what I have to do. You know, I find models, you know, that I can get in picture books or online, and I adapt them to my own thing. I have something in mind, and I find an image that I can adapt. But now I want to make that mine. And I found a model. I found a model, and it's so incredible because she looks so much like the women that I've been painting.
Wow, that's interesting. So you feel that the women that you paint, they do have a certain look, all of them. I can say I can you know, pick out some common denominators.
Yeah.
So you found someone that actually looks like that.
Yeah. I don't know if she wants me to say her name, but she had her own.
Unless she wants more work. Perhaps she does.
Well, she's a musician. She's not a model.
Okay.
And an amazing musician. I'll just say her name is Mimi.
Mimi.
Yeah. And so I'm very excited to embark on that, but I you know, it might have to wait a little while because of all the work that I'm in the process of still creating.
It's hard to get it all done because I'll share with the audience also that you're the president of the Peekskill Arts Alliance.
That's true.
Artist Alliance?
Arts.
Arts Alliance. And that's a huge job to coordinate, exhibits and exposure and just all the intricacies of making sure the other artists get recognition.
Yeah.
Which is what you spend most of your time doing, is making sure the other artists get recognition, you know? But at the same time, you're tooling your chop on your own, and, you know, I'm really happy that to be able to give you some recognition on my show.
So cool.
So how does it feel to be in that position? I mean, it's got to be, I don't want to say a burden. It's got to be a challenge to balance the fact that you have to work. A lot of people don't realize that being an artist is not just hanging out. You really have to concentrate. You need large blocks of time.
Yeah.
How do you manage this time?
Well, you know, sometimes well, sometimes not. You know, sometimes, like myself, you know, I'm a really sensitive person, and I can put all that aside to get stuff done, and then when stuff is all done, I start feeling everything again.
Yeah.
Who am I? Where am I going? What's going on in my life?
Why?
Why am I here? And you know, trying to plan around withdrawing for a couple of months is hard to do.
Yeah.
You know, but but it's just the truth. It's who I am, and you know, sometimes I totally shut down. I have the common decency to leave my crap at home and put on my, because I'm going to see somebody I love or enjoy, and I'm happy to be there. But I can't be dragging my knuckles around town. So, you know what I mean? So that can be my biggest challenge, is navigating, because I do things and think about the consequences later. I make big jumps and big leaps and big changes, and I'll catch up with that later. And every once in a while, it catches up with me.
Right.
But the PAA, though, when you say a burden, it would be a burden, except, you know, last night I had the distinct honor to be asked to speak for Larry D'Amico at the Chester Smith Awards. And, wow, I mean, he's really done so much for this community. And I wouldn't even imagine that I'm stepping into his shoes, because it's really not. I'm just, guiding the PAA at the moment. But he was at the very beginning of a movement, where Peekskill was coming out of a terrible recession. And the box stores took everything away. Yeah. And Fran Gibson, the government, the local government said, hey, let's do this artist thing. So when you think of that, when you think of the history before you, and that what Peekskill Arts Alliance means in the bigger picture, then it becomes something really relevant and really meaningful, and then it takes that burden thing away. It
does, I imagine so. And I'll just say that you've taken a little bit of the stigma of artists being, irresponsible and good for nothing. We don't do anything, and you were able to actually promote the idea that the truth that we're in our own small business, and it's harder than people can imagine, but we still do it. And so I think that what you've done sort of exemplifies that.
Oh, thanks.
I'll say. And what is the future for you in your art and Peekskill? And there are always kind of rumors going around about where people are going. So what is your future all about?
Well, my future goes like this. I make plans and God laughs, okay?
Okay.
So, it's nice to dream, and it's nice to make short-term plans.
Yeah.
But in the long term, I'm kind of riding a different wave.
Yeah.
There's things you can write on paper and make charts and diagrams. I'm really good at all of that. And then you just have to follow this place.
Yeah.
This is good for operating vehicles.
Yeah.
This is good for dreaming, but you don't make decisions from here.
Yeah.
And these are subject to disillusionment. And,
very much so, yeah.
But this place here, will tell me where I'm going to go.
You go by your gut.
I'd go by my gut.
Yeah, I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah. I mean, I might change my studio. I told myself that I was going to live here forever because moving almost killed me.
Oh, that's another subject.
But I don't know. I have a great faith in Peekskill is on a boom, that it's going to boom.
Yeah.
So I'm considering getting property here. But I don't know. I'd like to travel. I'd like to travel a lot more.
Yeah, well, you're still young. There's so much. It's true. You know, you don't have to. Don't push the envelope too. You're still young, so there's an opportunity for anything. What I found impressive is that when we talked a little bit before the interview, you know, I just said I don't talk very much. I'll tell the audience I don't really speak to my guests that much before the interview about the interview.
Yeah,
because I like
good.
it to be as fresh for them as it is for me. So we're all experiencing this at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But you whipped out like a flow chart. Like you had done like a spreadsheet so
Yeah.
you could keep track. I mean, I don't know how many artists do that.
I can sort it into chronological order, which is what I need to do, T.
Yeah.
You know why? Because I know something about myself.
Yeah.
And that is, I live 90% of the time with one toe on the ground. And the rest of me is really in so many places. And I love it there. I love it
Yeah.
there. But I know once I put the other 9 down and come back, I have to say, where the hell am I? You know, what am I
Yeah.
doing? What's next? So I have this incredible organizational thing that is ready for when I have to be, when I have to be on. So yeah, you know, I mean, I organize my place
Yeah.
and everything that I need, so I don't have to think hard about
Right.
it once I return.
Yeah, there you go, right? Yeah, you're very good at that, and you're also very good at giving people a heads up, you know, and you seem to understand a lot of people in the community, a lot of artists. You know everybody, you know, and it's not like you go around and say, I know this person, but like, for instance, you know that, you know, you're going to have to call me and let me know that I got to bring this piece here at this date because you know that maybe my mind's not there. You can be everybody else's mind. In a strange kind of way. People don't know that about you. I know that about you. I do. You really got your act together.
Well, thanks.
You do, and then you're still creating.
Yeah.
You know, and you're still you, and you're still sensitive.
Yeah.
You know, and you're still doing your art and moving. And I'm glad that I'm the first person to find out that you're moving to watercolor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
It's like about 9 months. You know, of my entire career that I'm dedicated sometime, and I absolutely hate it most of the time.
Yeah.
Until something
Goes right.
goes right, and it's like, wow, this is totally amazing. This
Takes
is,
a lot of guts to go from oil to watercolor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems apropos. It seems apropos considering your beautiful waterscapes as we sit at the waterfront with Maureen Winzig in her studio. But thank you. We have to stop, but we're going to do this again.
Oh, great.
You know, because you know how much I love to kibitz with you.
Oh, God, I love
Yeah.
it. You're wonderful, TQ.
Oh, it's all about you. So, but thank you so much.
Thank
you know?
you.
And I look forward to seeing your work evolve, continuing the evolution. You know, I'm going to be watching. I'm always watching. People don't know I'm watching, but I'm watching.
She is. Wow.
Yeah, I know. I got my eye on you, too. I do. But thanks again, and I'll thank the audience once again for coming. I'm really so thrilled to do this show. I thank my crew. I'm going to thank Jim Brooks and Joe Pisano and Helen Pisano, my crew. They're just the best. And I thank my audience for coming to the show. And definitely stay tuned next week. There will be somebody else. And I'll be really happy to see you again, too. Bye.